frankly, I really don't see why either of you are worrying about Jimmy Lee and Lorena. They're back together.
That's right, and the palimony suit is gone, right?
Yes, it is gone. That problem is over. There is no suit. There is no threat to us. So could I please go to sleep now?
You know, I don't say this very often, Monica, but your thinking is about as addle-brained as Alan's.
I think that's very unfair. Monica's thinking is not addle-brained.
Thank you, Alan. Neither is yours some of the time.
I'm merely trying to point out that getting Jimmy Lee and Lorena back together again is a half measure at best. Now, the real solution to our problem relies on getting Grant and Celia back.
Fine. That's a very neat trick, Edward. How do you propose to do it?
Well, I'll tell you how it's not going to happen. It's by sitting around twiddling our thumbs, waiting for Grant to get rich on this harebrained scheme with Sean Donnelly.
Let me tell you, that is not a harebrained scheme because I happen to be his partner. And I tell you, we stand to make a fortune.
Oh, you should both live so long. Look, you share 48% of that medical rowboat. Is that correct?
That rowboat happens to be a seagoing class medical showroom that is going to yield staggering profits.
Yeah, for Sean Donnelly, perhaps. As I recall, he kept 52% for himself. Is that correct?
Yes, but...
Well, save your breath. You and Grant are going to be lucky to get away with lunch money.
You know what? You're upset because you're not in on it.
Oh.
Alan is absolutely right, Edward. You always get in a stew when someone makes a killing and you are not in on it.
That is totally beside the point.
What is the point? I have lost track completely.
The point is, we have to see to it that Grant and Celia are closer than ever before. Now, any ideas?
Edward, I'll think about it. I really will. But right now, I have to get some sleep and stop worrying about Tony Jones.
By the way, who shot him? I mean, it wasn't clear in the papers.
No, they're not sure.
Well, was it that Peter somebody or other? You know, the man they're looking for?
Perhaps. Robert Scopio is on the case, so that's always the beginning of the end.
All right, Felicia, let's go back again. Peter called you. He was hurt. You went off to meet him. What could he have possibly said to you that would make you rush off and meet with him so automatically?
He said this over and over. He said he was hurt.
Aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Something that he said. Something that made you dash off without even taking the slightest precaution. Think carefully.
He mentioned the treasure.
Oh? What did he say about it?
He said he knew where it was. But that wasn't the only reason. I was confused. I wasn't thinking.
Maybe not.
Are you blaming me, too?
No. I'm just trying to make you focus on the time that you spent with Peter. Look, I want you to sit over there. I've got some paperwork to do. And while I'm gone, I want you to think about it very, very carefully.
I'm trying to.
That's all I ask. Think very carefully about whether Peter said something to you which will give us a clue as to who was after him and/or who wounded him.
I don't remember anything like that.
Felicia, go back over every word he said to you. And remember, Tony isn't the only victim here. There's Tania, and also Frisco. So you'll be helping them too.
How is he?
Still comatose.
So that means there's no change at all?
Well, nothing, Mrs. Jones, but that in itself is encouraging. We've been monitoring his vital signs since the heart surgery, and there has been no deterioration.
So you are going to go ahead with the brain surgery, then?
Not just yet, Tanya. We agree. He needs to be a little more stable first.
Well, then there's something that you're not telling me. He's got a bullet in his brain. How come you're not getting it out?
We intend to do that, Mrs. Jones. We simply have to give him more time to gain his strength. And I assure you that there is no danger in us waiting.
Why do you say that?
Because the bullet is lodged solidly, it can't move, and it can't do any more damage than it already has.
Tanya, he's holding his own. That's all the news we can give you right now.
You guys must be pretty beat. I mean, surgery last night and the monitoring. You gonna get some sleep?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and get a couple hours now.
Well, if you're going home, that means that he's not in any immediate danger, correct?
Yes, Tanya, that's right.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Mrs. Jones, are you up to signing another form?
Sure. Where do I sign?
Right on the bottom.
Rick, before you go, I just want to make sure that you know how I feel about all you've been doing.
We are very grateful.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, maybe you ought to get some sleep too, huh?
Frisco.
It's enough for you and for the baby.
I will. I have to see Tony.
Your husband is still unconscious, Mrs. Jones.
I know that. I just want to see him. Can I?
I think we can arrange it
When?
soon.